Hello, back again to a new tutorial about plan a model, and today we model a bridge for my new game. Maybe you know him. Okay, we see the structure of this bridge here. So what we have as a basic model, we have this triangle there that we must build. And when we look from another side to this object, then we see there are some. That is the top view. There you see there are straight lines, and in this part, in the long part, there is an X on the top. So best is we import that picture too. It's the 657. So we import it here with add mesh import as plane, and it is this one. Rotate x 90 degrees, scale up. Good. Now we have these three parts of the bridge, and we make few screencast keys on so you can here see what I type, which things I do. Okay, so I have counted that we have here in this line 31 of these triangles there. So we make the bridge to the half and mirror them to the left side and to the rest. So we make only the front part, yeah, and the rest is mirrored. Okay. So what we need is we need a simple mesh, and it should be something like the best is to work on the original, so you'll get never problems with the proportional or something else. So when we make it here and we see it is the same thickness that the other one and the same length that the other one, then it's good. Now we rotate them in the Y 45. Oh, it's too much. I think. Oh, we rotated manual. So well, that is our first thing, and we need the other on this side. So we drag them a little bit out. From front view, we make a double of them. So with Shift D, we have a double of them. Then we need to mirror them because it's on the wrong side. So we can here object mirror in the global set, I think. Oh, I must try it every time. Moment. Make it again. Object mirror, interactive mirror, and nothing happens. That's wonderful. That is what I like in these tutorials. Yeah, you make 5 minutes and nothing is straight. Okay, we have shit ego. So that is this one A that we have, or many A's here. We see it better in this picture. I think it must be a little bit brighter to the outside. So we delete one of them and rotate them much more, something like that. Duplicate them with Shift D, and then normally that must work. I don't know why it don't work. Then I apply the location rotate scale and bring it manually in this position. Okay, so we get the down part. Over that there must be the X that we spoken before. That is this X that is about the other things here. Okay, so what we need is some top part. So we rotate in Y and bring them to the middle. Yes, and this part is a little bit thicker than the other, so we scale them a little up. Okay, it's fine for now. And Shift D to duplicate them and bring it to the down part. Then we see at each end of this Y you can get the other directly. So we must scale that in the X to make it real near to the original. Make here the same. Okay, that is one side. I said to you we will later mirror them to the other side. So but we need at the top we need a half of them that we want to mirror, and on the back, on the downside too, we need some for the street and so on. Yeah, okay. So what we do next is you see at the connection part to the top, there comes the straight part out, and it is a triangle too, because we mirror them later. Okay, so we make that. We make here this little triangle, mark them, Shift D, copy them, rotate X 90 degrees, so we have it from front. We put it in there, and I must look, the end part of the triangle goes up with them. Okay, so we go to this part and rotate it in 180 degrees and put them there, so that from the top we have this triangle there. Must look at it really straight correctly, or isn't it? With set you can look in the wireframe, so sometimes you can see it better there what happens, but we need it correctly there. So when we look now, yes, that can be the truth. So what we see, we get this one part, and we want to have it in all this stuff here. So how we do it? First, we must join them all. That means we go here and select all these objects, Shift D to duplicate, because when we make shit, we have it old before and we can change it much faster than we start again. So we join that together as one object. Then we want to mirror them in this direction and forward. So we need for this middle point is here, and we want to put this mirror there. At first we go to modifier and we take the mirror modifier. Now you see he makes it downwards because we are on the x-axis and we need it on the y-axis. Then clipping is always important because he makes them together at the middle point. Yeah, when you do that, we go in the edit mode and we can now drag and drop our model, but you see that's not that we want. Why it happens? Because our middle point is not there as it should be. That means we have here a middle point of the absolutely middle point of the picture. With Shift C you get with a 3D cursor in the middle of them. This object we can put into this with Alt G, and then we are in the middle. So we said this middle point must be in this line here to get correctly facing shit. Okay, so that is the middle point that we can mirror. You see, it stands here, but we have some problem thing. I don't know why that happens. Moment. Let's look. Yeah, that is. So that is the correct one, and now we drag them to the left. That is our middle point, and so around this middle point we can mirror that. Yeah, and with the eye we can activate it, and you see it appears at the other side in Y. That is the Y direction. And now we can move them together, and then it is one object. So fine, we have one of this object that we need for the whole bridge there. The problem is this bridge is not really straight in this line. I can show it you by another view. I must look. It is moment where we can see it good. Here we can see it good. It's not straight. It's a little bit leaning to the right side, and that we want to make too. So we go back and take our model, take a little bit beside. So what we've seen is that it is banded to the side. That means we take this, forget all words, background within, and mark them and rotate them in the Y, in the X, sorry. And then we have that here, and then we have banded. I think it is a little bit too much. We must look again. It's not so much, so I think I'll make a little less, something like that. I think that is fine for now. We make a scale in the X 2 because a little bit too small in there, but okay, it's good for the start. Now I'll bring it in the front. I have said I've counted that are really 31 of this part, so we need an array modifier. You see it don't fit in a moment because we must adjust that to this X. It's a little bit tricky, but if you try it often enough, you will get a result that fits with the rest. What I have done there, so, okay, we go a little bit near, and we'll see now, with holding shift, we can tweak slower and correctly. So you see now he bent that, not really in this position, so we must go a little bit back and a little bit. Oh, okay, that was the other one. This one brings it back. Yeah. So we got this, and we need a little bit to the side. You see it? Okay. Yeah, we got it. So we need from this thing 31. So we have 2 in a moment. So we type in 31, and we have here this tunnel, this part here. We'll later make some streets down there because the train runs left and on the right side drives a train. In the middle are the cars, and on the outside or left and right, the human can run on this bridge. Don't forget to save often because when the computer strikes, then you have a problem when it's cut off. Yeah, but you see, good structure for starting. So next point is to make this round stuff there. You see, in the middle is it smaller than on the outside, but at first we must make one of this round thing there. We only need to make it to this point because we can mirror them to the right and to the front. That is no problem. So what we need is a curve. So we take curve, Bezier curve, rotate x 90 degrees. So we see this line. Grab them to the starting point. This middle point you can put where it should be start, and with the other point you can say where should it at. And with this guys here you can say how much should it float in which direction, how strong should be the banding, and so on. We try to make some smooth, good looking curve there. We go to another place that will see better. Right straight going up. I don't think that is that way, so we make it per hand a little bit smaller. As something like this maybe. Yeah, a little bit deeper I think. Yes, and a little bit on the, yeah, I think that can work. But the round point here isn't right in the moment, so we get them a little bit more to get roundness before that goes too straight there. Okay. Not really. A little bit tricky, but you can make it with your reference if you want. Later, nobody interested how it is built. It's only now for the start. Make it correct. Okay. So I think that's enough. We should go another way. And we see we should try to get here more bending points. So we drag them to the middle, get this outer point, freak them to a straight line here. Okay, then we can get the middle point and press E to extrude like on mesh 2, and then we can modify them. So we don't see it enough in the moment, so we go here under the curve values, and there we can make depth, so we see it much fatter than, and so we can join them better. Okay, so we see we need a little bit more here, so we grab it, get here a little bit near, here a little bit down. Good, that is what we need. A little bit down, a little more. Okay, that is the bridge. When I look at it, it's not like I want it. Should be more geometry of a real round thing, but that is good. Okay, we let it like it is. Depth we can bring to 0. Now we must first have this line here, and then the spread speed between them. Yeah. So we have this model here, and this is a curve. So there are many ways now to make this. It is a quarter in real that flows here, and later we must make them here thinner. They are thicker, but first we need this one. So what we do is we get a simple cube, mesh cube, and make it as thick as it should be. So we go here, scale them down like the original. Must be in the front, it's important. So we see that is this thickness. So, and now we want to extrude them on the X. Okay, something like that, because it's banded, so we need a little bit more. Then to bend them like this curve, there are many ways to do that, but we take this way now. We press Control and R, and with the mouse wheel we can say how many loops we want to make in. As more loops, as finer are the curve that you want to build. So now we have here this cube with many loops in there, and this should follow the curve to get this outstanding line there. So we go to safety and make a copy of them, so we lost nothing. We go here in the outliner and see that curve name is Bezier curve 002, and this is our cube 007. Now this should follow this curve. Now we can do that. On this cube we give a modifier and a curve modifier. Then we give the curve name of this curve, that is the 01, second one. And when we now go there, you see it follows the curve. You see, that is good. Yeah, I think little can be more that way. Crap. Yeah, it's tricky stuff, but it works. Yeah. Okay. We make a copy of that both together again and apply the curve modifier at that time. And now we have this banded part. This banded part we can mirror to the other side later. And the important thing is that it is in the middle is smaller, and when I look from there, that isn't smaller in the middle because of the bending in this direction. So it's logic. What we must do, we must bend them to the middle. So we look at first how far it is from the start. From the start, that are 11. There the curve starts 11. So we must count here 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So it's there. And not must be perfect, yeah. It's only a thing out the start to make it over. Okay, now we are, you must think there are two street sides where here drive cars, here drives a train, and here are the people running. The middle is here, and we need a smaller part than outside. So I think when we put him to this point, that could be good. So what do? We go here and mark with this on, that is important. Mark that part, and then we have proportional editing here, that is this point here. And when we put them, we can say all that is connected with these points we selected follow them when we move them. So when we grab Y, you see this ring there. When I move the mouse now, you see only that moves, but we want to move that all. So we roll the middle mouse button to make this ring greater, and then you can move more and more from this whole thing there. And I think that is a good one. Yeah, that's good. When we now look from the top, you see it bends in this direction, and that is wonderful for that what we need. So we now must mirror that at both sides. So we need the middle point like before. Shift C, you know, it jumps to the middle point. That is our 3D middle point now, and our object must now be in this range. So that is our object, and it should be there. That is the middle point. And now we can say the middle point is in the moment is here from this object, and we need it there. So we can say here set origin, it's under tools, origin to 3D cursor. Then this one, the axis, moves to the 3D cursor. So now the middle point of this object is there. Now we can take a mirror and we have it on the other side. Simply, and it works. Good. After that we have it on one side in the moment. We need it at the other side too. So we need again a mirror modifier, but in the other direction. We need it to this part. Before we do that, that's bad, it should be normally there, but we can change it every time I showed you before. Okay, Shift D to make a duplicate of them so that never can be a problem. So we apply that and make the origin, the middle point, at the center of the mass. That is there. And now we go to top view, Shift D to duplicate that whole object, go to top view, and now we must mirror them. So we go to apply the scale that it has in the moment. Rotation and scale should be applied. This object is like that. And now we can mirror them with object, mirror, interactive mirror. Hold the middle mouse button and drag around, and then you see how it moves in all directions you want to have. So that is good. It's not perfectly, you see it a little bit tweaking there. We can later make that correctly, but we now need to work and not to make a little shit there. We make them both together and join them. Then we have this middle part here, and we see there is the problem. When we have proportional editing on with scale Y and roll the middle mouse button, we can normalize that it floats with the rest. A little bit tricky, but we can handle that. Good, for start is okay. My god. Okay, so in this here we get these two parts and make them a little bit in the middle. Okay, make proportional editing off. Okay, so but I must do that. I see that is very strange shit. We can take relax for such like that. We try that now. We mark that one thing, and there are the loop tools. You can install as an add-on, and when you click on relax, we normally should make it correctly. We make it single, relax, and it isn't really fit together. That is the problem. So we get these 2 points and merge them. Tools, merge at the center, and here same, mark these 2 points, merge at center. Now we have one complete object. Oh, there is something strange. No, it's okay. Good. Bring them up to normal. Okay. Then we have it on the other side too. So we merge it at center. Here same, merge at center. Okay. We see we have the same problem here. We look from front, and we see here it should go higher, but with proportioning on, connected, grab in the set, and yes, that is really good. We don't want proportional perfect guys there, yeah, so shit on it. Okay. Now we see him, it is to create, it should be end at this point here, so we scale them a little like that. Good. Now we have this position of all that is correct. Make it in the middle, and now we must put in there this streaks there, these straight lines, and we can follow this curve when we want. So we can here take a cube, a small cube, and make them as one of this, such like this, and we put on there an array modifier on this object here. So add array modifier, and we now can say how much should it space between them. I think I counted them, that are 16, so we type in here 16, so we have now 16 of these guys there, and we want the half should be bended like this curve, so we type in here 8, and that must be the same size as this curve, nearly the same. Good. We make a copy of that for the secureness and save, and I save it under part 2 save. Okay, now this should be applied, and this name is curve bezier 1, and this one should follow them, so this one needs a curve modifier at the curve 001. And when we now move them, then you would see they appear and bend like the curve is. So we have them on the right side that we need. I think that's good. We don't make it perfectly. That's good enough. So we mark them together, Shift D to copy them for secure, and then apply this modifier, the curve modifier here. Now it is one simply object, and save again, and now we can put them on our bridge. The bridge is here, and you see the bridge is at this point larger than in the middle. So we scale that whole thing in the Y. Then we go overall. We started from there and go straight down there. So where's our bridge here? So we have them now there, and you see there are some that stands over. So we can make it manually, or you can make it with proportional editing. That's all possible. In this case, we can try it one time. I never done that before, but we will see. We connect. No, not connected. It isn't connected. So enable. Scale and Y. Yeah. And now we have it perfectly fitted. Yes. The same we make on the other side. That means we can take a mirror, or we copy them. Just copy Shift D and then apply, rotate scale, and take a mirror modifier interactive, and then you have it. Okay, so we got that all. That all must be down later, that is sure. So at first we mark that all and get them. Oh, we forgot the rest. Moment. This one. Okay, we have it. And bring them down to the bottom. Okay, that is this part. Later we must make them thicker. For that we have a solidifier there, then we can delete one of the middle things there. That's all not the problem. When you look at this bridge, then these lines here, they hold the middle part there. That means they are not straight from top to down, they go by the side and go straight to this. You see it here. So we must do that. That means we need this line. It must fix it from this point to the middle part. How we can do that? Many ways to do that. Okay, that was the third part, the first part to make this bridge. Next time, hope I see you and we make the rest. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.